what I disclosed to Dr. Corsi tonight was that I was a member of the what informally was known as the WikiLeaks network, which is an up-down network. And you don't know, in a blind network, you don't know when you're passing thumb drives. You don't know anything more than your downstream and your upstream. You don't know anything more than where you're getting the thumb drive from and where you're giving it to. And you don't know what's on the thumb drive. So Kim.com is saying, oh, I'm this, incredibly pivotal player. I was a participant. I was a participant of giving thumb drives to Michael Ratner, in New York. I knew Michael Ratner mirrored everything that he did, mirrored everything he got on WikiLeaks to John Jones in London. I know for a fact that Gavin McFadden got all his information from John Jones. He was the feed point. John Jones was the feed point. Gavin McFadden ran the journalism school every year with all the kids coming in to, I can't remember the university in London. That's where they got all the kids to bring in the thumb drives. So I don't have proof that Eric Braverman went to Ratner to give the thumb drives. You got to remember, there's 4 leaks. There's 4 leaks, and this is Jerome Corsi and I disagree on this. There's 4 leaks. There's the Democratic Caucus leak, the DCC leak. People forget about that. There is the DNC leaks. There's also the leaks from Podesta leaks, and then there's also the Clinton Foundation leaks. The one person that would have had access to all 4 of those bodies of information would have been Eric Braverman. Sean Lucas wouldn't have known anything about the Democratic Caucus. He wouldn't have known anything about the Podesta emails because that was not DNC. That was the Center for American Progress, and he wouldn't have known anything about the Clinton Foundation. So the one person, it could be, there's 2 scenarios here. One could be that there's a Seth Rich leaker, and then there's a Podesta leaker, and it's Fuzzy Bear, and it's Cozy Bear, and whatever, Happy Bear, or whatever the CrowdStrike, whatever the Schumer, scenario, Schumer, Adam Schiff Russia hoax scenario. I can't remember even what they call it, Cozy Bear. Or it could be that there is one really disaffected person within the Clinton Foundation that is giving all 4 of these leaks, 4 different drops, 4 different thumb drives. And then the other alternative scenario is there's a Seth Rich leaker, that's 1. And there's a Podesta leaker, that's 2. There's a Democratic Caucus leaker, that's 3. There's a Clinton Foundation leaker, that's 4. That's Eric Braverman. So we're hot on the trail. We're in pursuit. We don't know the answer, and that's why I'm meeting with Jerome Corsi to try to figure this out.
Well, I think that this is of historic importance, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're talking with George Webb and Dr. Jerome Corsi as well is with. This is of historic importance, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're talking with George Webb and Dr. Jerome Corsi as well is with George Webb, and of course a filmmaker. I think you said, or Jason, who's part of the team. I saw him on the videos. But George, let me just back up for just a second here to make this clear, just so it's clear in my mind. You're intimately familiar because you just said, and maybe I missed this, but you were part of the WikiLeaks. You were part of the WikiLeaks transfer of information, personally.
Yeah. So yes, I was. So before WikiLeaks was even formed, there was an RT network. Before RT was even formed, there was a network of getting information between New York and London. And what you would do is basically thumb drives in Central Park is what I would call it. But there were people that were not getting published in Europe that needed to be published in the United States. So thumb drives would come this way from, people writing, basically authors or dissidents coming to New York, and then there was thumb drives going the other way for mainly South American journalists that felt like the CIA was being oppressive in South America. This was mainly through the Czech embassy in New York. That's my experience.
Got it.
So I don't have any more experience than that.
Okay.
But this isn't new. This isn't new. And WikiLeaks was formed after that. And thumb drive drops in Central Park are not new. And that's how it works. And I met Julian Assange in Australia in 1984 when he was a kid, and he is a piece of the puzzle, but he's not the whole puzzle. This is bigger than Julian Assange, and I'll just leave it at that.